Hey guys, wanted to share with you another pen mail day for me, and these two things came in the mail. Yes, one on top of another, but you know, this was on a little acrylic stand with the Waterman logo on it that was probably used in pen shops, you know, I figured why not? I had some eBay bucks to spend before they expired, so I went ahead and used those to get that a whole lot cheaper than I normally would have. So, you know, I just maybe end up, you may see this quite a bit actually in some of my videos, why not? Maybe even some of my pen of the day pictures on Instagram, and here's my Instagram user ID if you want to go see what my pen of the day is. Alright, now, here's what I've got. I've got this particular pen, a Pelikan, a P120 from the 1980s. This is what showed up today. It came to me from Romania, and yep, there you go, from Romania, a seller that is on Etsy. I have purchased from this seller before. I believe my last pen I got from him was a Waterman Forum that was fairly inexpensive. And this particular pen I fought with when it first came. You know, it's a lower end pen, a P120 from the 1980s, and looking at the cap, the logo is from prior to 2003 because it's got a two-chick logo on it, and I searched and searched and searched and finally found a website where I found this particular pen, so at least I know the model because the seller had not told me what the model was, and it is a P120. It is actually a slip cap, and it's got a plain steel clip. It's actually a very usable clip, and you see it's got that design where it's got a slant and then the little outward thing. So the cap actually sits pretty loosely on that particular pen. So on the bottom, not a whole lot going on. You've got that little concave bottom, nice green, and you've got that on the finial. So you open it up, and here you've got a nice long black grip section, and it's you know, that same style that Lamy likes to use on their pens, and that's a plastic feed. And I fought with it. I put it in an ink cartridge. I had flushed it out. I put it through an ultrasonic cleaner, and it still didn't work. And then finally, I went and I pulled the section apart where I pulled out that feed, pulled out the nib, cleaned it all up, and still giving me a hard time. I could not get ink to flow. I could get water to flow through. I could get ink to draw up with a converter. And yes, this is a cartridge converter style pen, and it does take a standard international cartridge or converter. So I wasted an ink cartridge on this thing trying to get it to flow, and it just wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. So I went ahead and put a converter in it and tried it. I could draw up ink just fine, but I could not get ink to flow down through the nib. Even though when I go to expel it, ink would bubble out right here through that feed, no problem. And I tried several different standard international converters to go in it, but only one, this one, or one style anyway, would seat properly inside of that pen. So there you go. So I played with it, pulled apart, and I was able to get that ink channel that goes down on the top side of that feed. I kind of gouged it out and took a blade and went down through it just a little bit and opened it up. And finally, lo and behold, my Pelikan P120 with a steel nib finally started to flow ink. So, it's not an extremely smooth nib. I may go ahead and try to smooth it out just a little bit. But you've got a lot of flex on that steel nib. So, like I said, not the smoothest, just a hair scratchy. But it's a fairly decent writer to it, though it's wet. It's not an expensive pen. I didn't expect a whole lot out of it. But I didn't give up on it. So, I have for myself now a new Pelikan that has been added to my flock from the 1980s the P120. Not a bad low-end or student-style pen. And I'll probably still polish it up, clean it up, maybe go ahead and smooth it up just a little bit. So that's pen mail for today. My little Waterman stand and a Pelikan P120 now in my collection.